Hi guys, I'm Laura Vitale, and in this episode of Laura in the Kitchen, I want to share with you what I like to call my crock-pot slow-cooked beef fajitas. They're by no means like an authentic thing, but they're really delicious. It's like dinner mix itself. You don't have to worry about it. It slow cooks for a long time. The beef just becomes really tender and lovely, and the peppers and onions, everything together is just delicious. Perfect cozy meal, and I'm excited to share it with you. The ingredients you'll need are not very many. You're starting off with lots of garlic, onions, and bell peppers that I've sliced. I also have a flank steak here. This is some canned chili and tomatoes. Lots of brands make them. They're delicious. And here for the spices, I've got some ground cumin, ground coriander, some oregano, granulated garlic and onion, chili powder, and paprika. You'll also need salt and pepper and vegetable oil because I want to sear my steak. You don't have to do this if you don't want to. You can just put everything in the crock pot, turn it on, and it'll cook low and slow for a while. But I love searing my steak. It just gives me extra flavor. And I know that sounds really strange. I am a big fan of searing steaks before slow cooking, searing anything before slow cooking it, because I don't like that gray look to my steak. I want that beautiful caramelized seared look, so that's why I do that. I am not going to add my spices to my steak because if I were to do that, because I'm searing it on such high heat, the spices would burn. However, I'm going to salt and pepper both sides because I want to salt and pepper my steak and my vegetables. So I'm going to do that on both sides while my skillet preheats. It's preheating over about high heat, medium high to high heat. And the steak does have a little bit of fat on the other side, and I'm going to leave it on because that just gives me a ton of flavor because we're not adding any oil or anything to the actual slow cooker. So I am just going to wait for this to come to temperature. We'll add it in, sear it on both sides, and then we'll build the whole thing. Move that around to make sure the oil is coating it on both sides. And I'm going to cook that for about 3 minutes on both sides or until it develops some really good color. But in the meantime, what I'm going to do is you take your slow cooker or the pot of your slow cooker or whatever you want to call it. And I'm going to take some of this mixture. It does not matter that it's not perfectly mixed together because it's all going to end up in the same place. I'm going to add half of it to the bottom. That's more than half of it to the bottom, along with half of my tomatoes. This just keeps the steak from sitting on the actual slow cooker, keeps it from becoming a little dry. All this together is going to make a lot of juice, which the steak is going to cook in and it become really tender and really flavorful and really delicious. So I want to keep it like that. And now I'm just going to add a smidge of pepper and a little bit of salt, not too much. I'm going to add a little bit of salt in there because I want to make sure all the veggies are well seasoned because that just does make a big difference. Do that, and then just mix your little mixture here of spices. You can see I'm just doing kind of half on the bottom, half on the top, and that's what you want, like so. I'm going to give this a gentle little toss. Perfect. And then what I'll do so that the top layer is ready, I'll just mix everything else in my big bowl, and that's it. And then I'll just take this layer and put it on top of the steak once I put the steak in there. And that is it. It's very simple and very easy, and your house is going to smell so good. You can get some tortillas out, some sour cream. My mouth is salivating. That's what I'm going to do anyway. Put that like that on top, and then your remaining vegetable mixture. Let me get all that out of there. You don't have to add anything else to this. Just you wait and see how much juice and sauciness this produces. It's just phenomenal. Now you got a couple of options because you know I have to give you options because the world is all about options. You can do this one or two ways. Turn the slow cooker on slow, low, and let it cook for 8 to 10 hours. Or you can do what I'm going to do because I'm a little hungry and I don't want to wait 8 to 10 hours. I'm going to turn this on to high and let it cook for about 4 hours, in which case it should be delicious, falling apart tender, absolutely mouth-watering. But always make sure that you know your slow cooker. I know that mine, this particular one, if I put it on high for 4 hours, it will just be perfection. Yours on high might take between 4 and 6 hours, so keep an eye on that. I'm gonna put this up, I'm gonna put this in the slow cooker and let it cook for a bit, and I'll show you what it looks like when it is fully cooked. Okay, it's been about 4 hours. I took my steak out and I gave it a nice slice against the grain. I already have some in there, and I put the rest of it in there. It is so, like, it melts in your mouth. It's just wonderful. There's not really a whole lot of fat that, you know, came up to the surface of the actual dish, but if there was, I would get rid of some, but there's just really not that much. I'm not going to worry about it. And mix everything together and let that steak just sit in those juices. It's phenomenal. I'm going to put this back here. Now, you can serve this however your heart desires. I have a few toppings here. These are kind of what we love. We love some lettuce, sour cream, got some tomatoes, pickled jalapenos, some shredded cheese, of course your tortillas. And I also like to have some hot sauce on the side, some lime juice. That's just what we love to put on ours, but you can use whatever you want. And then alongside, I've got some yellow rice that I actually have a recipe on, Laura in the Kitchen already. So if you want to know how to make this, you can go ahead and check it out there. It is just my foolproof, like Mexican style yellow rice. Not authentic by any means. This is almost done. I'm just checking my timer and I am ready to rock and roll. I am just dying to make myself one. You got your tortilla. You can choose flour or corn. I'm using flour tortilla today. A couple pieces of steak with those peppers and onions. Look at that. It's going to be so juicy, although it is really hot, so I hope not to hurt myself. And then, for me personally, I need some jalapenos on it. I'm just going to break them up with my fingers, like so. I'm going to go with a little bit of tomato, and don't worry, this is just for us. But I need some tomato, and then I'm going to go with just a tad bit of sour cream. Perfect. And then just a little bit of lettuce. I'm going to skip the cheese for right now. Juicy, juicy. That is money. So good. That steak is so tender. I'm just in love. This is perfect for a busy day because the thing just cooks itself all day long. It's perfect for a crowd. You can double up on the recipe if you want to feed a lot of people. It's just a great all-purpose recipe, and I think a lot of you would really enjoy it. Go to laurainthekitchen.com to get the recipe. I hope you enjoy spending time with me, and I will see you next time. Bye.